Do the grades students get in schools equate to the growth they're having at that particular time? I think this is a conversation that should start if it hasn't already. I feel like the system of educations we grew up in focused more on us passing. We were not really looking at how well, you know, developed our mind is or our thinking, creative thinking. Just us being able to analyze information is not really being looked at critically. I think the most important thing is us passing, getting the A's and the B's, you know. But that was the education system as to how it was wired and has been wired. So we end up cramming and we pass by cramming. We know how to cram, but does it really equate to the growth that is expected of us to having had? And I think I don't really think it does, because when you look at you can find a student, passing. A student has very high quality grades, but when you look at the character of that student, it's nothing. Or a student is just so rude. A student is somebody who can't even be talked to. One of the things I tell my students is to ensure that they always be disciplined. I often tell them I don't care much about, in as much as grading is important. What is the essence of that grade if you have a character that is so dirty? The moment you're somebody that you can't be dealt with easily, people really won't like being in your corner because you're difficult to deal with. So I'd rather you be a student who listens, a student who values, whatever is being told, a student who respects. You don't have to agree to everything your elders tell you, but you respect them. Then a student who gets an A and afterwards you just wish it wouldn't. And I really wish while coming with the CBC that will be looked into, but do we really have measures that would be able to put across to put in place or to measure the amount of growth that student has gone through? I don't think so. What will still be measured? Yes, the students will be allowed to do whatever they want to do compared to the other that we just cram. But the growth part, I don't think that is still occupied or looked into yet, because we'll still be looking at other things, what you're competent in, but we'll not look at whether you're actually growing as an individual. You'll be growing in terms of what you like to do, but will you be growing in terms of being able to survive in the outside world, in terms of your character? So I think we still like that, but I think schools shouldn't value grades over the growth, because that growth is very important. In as much as schools help us grow in various ways, if these different aspects are not looked into, we're going to have a very confused, society, because either they're going to grow too slow, or the world outside is going to teach them and they're going to become what we don't want them to. What are your thoughts?